Take a seat.
Minister Mentor Lee Kuan Yew, NUS Chairman Mr. Wong Nit Leong, NUS Society President Mr. Johnny Chan, NUS President Professor Tan Cho Chuan, Dr. Tony Tan, Chairman National Research Foundation, ladies and gentlemen. Let me first start by congratulating both NUS and NUSS for building this marvelous facility. I hope you will extend it to your friendly neighbor down the road, the Institute of Southeast Asian Studies. I would also like to congratulate the organizers for choosing the theme, which is timely and topical, Singapore and Singaporeans 25 years from now. Today, we are on the cusp of change. After nearly 5 decades of never-ending prosperity, we are beginning to see things we never saw before. Yesterday, the Reuters report put it down as Singapore will have the worst performing economy in Southeast Asia. Stories like this is something new and unaccustomed to, and it has got grave implications. So today we are really fortunate to have with us Minister Mentor to talk to us on Singapore and Singaporeans a quarter century from now. I think as a principal architect of Singapore's founding and having brought Singapore from third world to first world, I think we can't find a better person to give us his views on this topic. Minister Mentor.
Well, President of the Chairman NUS Board of Trustees, Mr. Wong Nit Leong, NUS President, Mr. Professor Tan Cho Chuan, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. What will Singapore be like in 25 years' time, and what will Singaporeans be like in 25 years' time? If you had asked me 25 years ago whether I could predict that this is the Singapore we would have today, I would have to honestly tell you that it was not possible. But what I knew was that whatever advances in the world that takes place, if we are equipped and ready, both physically and educationally and skillfully, to absorb and connect ourselves to that world, then we will progress. So what will we be in 25 years' time depends, first of all, on what is the world situation. When I say the world, I mean the major economic powers, because their interrelationships either creates a climate of confidence and security or tensions and instability. 25 years from now, who will be the major big players? I think the US is still preeminent because technologically they are unbeatable. China's growth in GDP terms may be equal to America in 25 years, but per capita she's still about 1/5, 1/4. So the country may be big, but the people are still poor compared to the Americans, or even compared to us. Who else? The European Union, economically, but not militarily. India, Japan, Russia. If their oil and gas revenue is converted into a real functioning modern economy. Will it be a cooperative set of players? difficult to say as of the present. I think the Chinese policy is we are friends all around. We don't want any trouble, not even with Japan, with whom they've had some very unpleasant experiences in the last war, but the Hu Jintao and Wen Xiaopao, they said, let's forget it, let's cooperate. Not just for now, but for generations. They need Japan's technology, investments, markets, and knowledge. They need America's markets, technology, investments. They want Europe. They also want Russian oil and gas. They also want to increase trade with India. They have offered ASEAN a free trade agreement which gives ASEAN first harvest. In other words, we get the benefits first, they will take the benefits later. These are all long-term moves they have made on the chessboard which will ensure their gradual rise. And they know it's going to take a very long time from where they are to reach the kind of educated population that Europe and America has. Yes, you can educate your elite in the big cities, but in the vast countryside, you make every one of them educated, as in America or Europe. That's a very different problem that will take 2, 3, 4 generations to produce scientists who do R&D and make breakthroughs. They are capable of it. You've seen they put people up in space. But across the board, to catch up with America, as they make progress, the Americans are going to, and Europeans are going to forge ahead. So will the Japanese. So they have worked out that they will need 50 years or more. So let's not have any trouble now. It will abort their growth. But meanwhile, they grow stronger, because every year they grow stronger. Will it change? If you ask me now, I would say no. I looked at the successor generations. I think they'll be even more savvy than the present generation. The present generation, Hu Jintao, Wen Xiaopao, their first foreign language is Russian. Yes, they've learned English. Some of them can read English. But their models in their minds, their compass, intellectual compass, is Russia and the state system that got them into this boxed-in position. In 15, 20 years' time, a leadership will emerge whose first foreign language is English, who have been educated abroad or been exposed to work abroad, who will understand the outside world, and who will know we have to do these following things to catch up. And then I think you will see them spurt forward. This crisis has put America and Europe and Japan, Hong Kong, Singapore, Taiwan, the rest of Southeast Asia back. Will it always be in crisis? No. How long will it be? Nobody can tell you that. But you must restore confidence in the banking system and the financial institutions. You must get rid of what they call toxic assets, all these debt derivatives which have been proliferating, and everybody thought they were making money and just passing it on and getting commissions. Finally, they found that they were passing on paper whose obligations come from people who have no money. They call them subprime mortgagees. But they have no money. They bought houses beyond their means to pay. But because of the financial system, the Americans have exported this around the world, primarily to Europe, some to Japan, fortunately not to us, and only marginally to China because they were so complicated, our banks did not want to get into it. but we are still involved in the crash. Panic spreads. All banks don't lend to each other. They don't trust you. You might not be able to pay me. Will it always be down? No, I don't think so. The American economy, not just my assessment, I think the assessment of all economists, is fundamentally sound. What was unsound was the financial system making paper profits. The companies are sound. Yes, Detroit, GM, Chrysler. How can they compete? I mean, they are paying wages based on a time when they were supreme. Now the Japanese are producing cars, Toyota, Honda, in the South, paying wages and medical benefits which the Southern American workers are prepared to accept, which gives them an advantage of $2,000 US per car. So Congress giving them this money is doing only buying time, and every few years you've got to top up again until the unions take a haircut. The unions don't want to take a haircut. So it's an American domestic political problem, but not an economic problem. They can compete if you bring the costs of wages, pensions, medical benefits down to what exists in the South, which Honda, even Mercedes-Benz is operating in the South.
Take a seat.